I'm Victoria Pearson, but you can call me V. And this week we are just going to have a super quick chat because I have been so disorganised this week. Usually I film these vlogs the Monday before they go out, so I've got a whole week to sort of do it and edit it and all that sort of thing. But today is Friday. My week has completely got away with me this week. We started on the Monday. It was bank holiday here in the UK, and so I had all the children and my husband at home, and we actually had the laziest bank holiday because it had just been so busy the week before. I needed that recovery time. But whenever there's a bank holiday, I love me a bank holiday because who doesn't love a 3-day weekend? But whenever it is a bank holiday, I really struggle the following week to work out even what day it is. And so the whole week just got away from me really, really quickly. That being said, I have got a lot done this week. I'm really, really proud of myself for some of the things that I've done this week. I've written 3 chapters on the collaborative novel project that I am working on with some other people, and I'm having so much fun writing that. These characters, I absolutely love them. I don't think I've fallen in love this hard with characters that I have written for a long, long time. And these particular ones, I just love them. I just love all of them. Usually I fall in love with a character of mine, but this time I just love all of them, even the horse. So I got that done. I've started working on chapter 4 now. Really, really having so much fun writing it, and probably am spending a little bit too much of my time doing it, but it's just so addictive when something's flowing really well and you're not having to think too hard about it and it's all just coming out on the page. I love that. It is why first drafts are my favourite part of writing, because you don't have to let anything like sentence structure or grammar or anything like that get in the way of just telling the story. All of that other stuff, that's for later on. And so this is the most fun part of the story to me. It's where I'm discovering the story, I'm building the world, I'm getting to know the characters, and I've really, really enjoyed that over the last week or so. In other writing news, I have also submitted to some more agents this week. Now, for you, those of you that don't really know how publishing works, what happens if you want to be traditionally published, which you don't have to be, you can publish your work independently, but that does make some things a little bit more difficult, especially getting into like bricks and mortar bookshops and libraries and things like that can be more of a challenge if you are self-published. And so the novel that I've written, I would like to get traditionally published. I don't know yet if that is going to be a possibility, because the process goes something like this, as I understand it. You spend however long writing and editing your book. You have several mental breakdowns during the writing and editing of your book. You send it out to a load of beta readers. They all come back with different feedback. You rewrite the whole thing again. You have another nervous breakdown. And then at some point, you end up with a manuscript that is as good as you can possibly make it at this point. That is when you then start looking for an agent to help sell your work to the publishing houses. It's much easier for literary agents to sell to publishing houses than it is for authors to do it directly, because the publishers sort of see that as a mark of quality in a way, because you've got past that initial gatekeeper stage. Somebody that's not your mum or your best friend has said, yeah, this is good, I think that people might like to read this. And then the agent sells to the publisher on your behalf and they take a percentage of your income. But in order to get an agent, you have to put together a query package, which is a letter to the agent telling them why you like them, why you think you'd be a good fit, telling them about your story, what happens in it, why it's good, who's going to read it. And for some reason, I find writing that little letter so much more difficult than writing the entire novel that I wrote. In fact, in the time that I've been procrastinating writing this query letter, I have since written a whole other novel that I am one day going to have to query to people. I'm not even going to worry about that bit just yet. But that means that the first step is obviously putting together this query package and finding agents that do fit with you and that would possibly enjoy your work, that normally represent work that's like yours. And so I've spent the last few weeks putting together lists, and the day before yesterday, I finally sent that out to people. Now, I know that it can take months and months to get any response, but can I stop refreshing my inbox while I'm waiting? No, I cannot. And so it was a very anxious week for me this week. And even though I know I'm definitely not going to hear anything back this week, I still can't stop checking. That being said, the universe did throw me a little curveball this week just to take my mind off that, I think. I went to go and pick up my teenager from college because there was a train strike and a bus strike at the same time. And so on a day that my kid had to be in college. If you watch my shorts, you will have seen me rant about it. On the way, I broke down. It's the first time that I broke down in this car. I know I have talked about breaking down in cars a lot over the last 2 years with you guys, but those were different cars. This is my new car, Valerie, and she hasn't actually let me down yet so far. So when I was approaching a roundabout, went to slow down, went to change my gear down, couldn't change my gear down, and my clutch pedal got stuck. I flicked my clutch pedal back up thinking that it's got caught on a carpet or something, go to do it again. I still can't get into gear. I had to coast around this roundabout in neutral, hoping that there was no other traffic so that I could pull off of the main road into a side road and investigate what was going on. And honestly, I thought it was going to be a horrendously expensive fix. I thought that my entire clutch plate had gone because the clutch line looked fine. And so I was like, oh no, my clutch has gone. That is going to cause me so many problems because my car's only a little cheap car. It's probably not worth me replacing the clutch, especially when I know that the cat converter is on its way out as well. And I was just hoping to get a few more years use out of it before it died completely. So repairing the clutch plate, if I then had to repair the cat converter as well, would have just been more expensive than the car is worth. And so I was having a little stress about it, especially because we're supposed to be going to the coast next year. Now, luckily, I renewed my car insurance last month, and when I did, they had taken some of the features that I usually have off to reduce the price for me, on the basis that I didn't use them very much. And I left some of them off. I thought, you know what, I don't really need European cover. I don't even have a passport. I'm not likely to be driving abroad in the next year. Even if I do, it won't be in this car, and so I'll leave that off. And I considered leaving the breakdown cover off as well because I'd never used it before. But at the last second, something told me to click that box and re-add that to my insurance. And I am so glad that I did because it meant that I got rescued by the RAC. And so after several hours of sitting, waiting for the RAC, because I was in a side road, I was perfectly safe, I didn't have my children with me, and so it wasn't really a high priority for their rescue in the same way that I would have been if I had been on a very busy road or causing an obstruction or had a car full of kids or something like that. It was just me on my own in a side road. It wasn't even dark yet, and so I wasn't really in any danger. So it took a few hours for them to come out, but not as long as I thought it was going to be, actually. About 3 hours after I initially reported the breakdown, I had the recovery truck there with me. And luckily, he had a look at it and said to me, oh, it's not your clutch plate at all. It's just this little cylinder thing that's blown, and that'll be a super easy and cheap fix. He even said, I could do it for you at the side of the road, but I don't have the part available at the moment. So he towed me back to a garage that's near where I live. It's a really reliable garage that I've been very pleased with over the years. I probably wouldn't purposefully take my car somewhere else unless I had to, because they are such a good little business. Anyway, they couldn't fix it for me, so yesterday I had to have my car towed to a different garage who think that they can. But if you've been watching my shorts for a while, you will have seen the one that I posted about the phone the other day, where I explained that my phone has absolutely no signal in my house whatsoever. And so now I have to keep going out of my house and walking up the hill to get a signal so that I can ring this mechanic and check to see if they've rung me. And they never have. And so I think they're getting really annoyed with me now and probably putting me to the bottom of their to-do list. So I could do with you all thinking quick fix thoughts for my car, Valerie, because I'm supposed to be driving to the coast next week. I thought I was supposed to be driving on Monday. I've just discovered that I am in fact booked in to go on Wednesday. And so we've got a few extra days. I am hopeful that we're going to have a car on time because I really need to chill out and relax and see the seaside for a little bit this week, because going to the sea, it renews me, it refreshes me, it fills my spiritual well and my creativity and makes me feel really, really good. And so I'm very much looking forward to going. My youngest is off on his first ever residential school trip next week, which is why I'm going down to the coast, so I don't just pace around my house and worry about him the whole time he's gone. But my anxiety dreams have already started about that. I dreamed last night that I had forgotten to pack him a lunch for the coach and I had to run home and get something for him, and all we had in our house was stale wraps. We don't even have wraps in the house at the moment. I don't know why my brain decided stale wraps was what would be in the house. I've got the anxiety. That's not going to happen. I don't know why I've decided that that's going to happen, but maybe I will put that anxiety to bed a bit by packing up his stuff ready for next Wednesday so that I feel like I have completed all of the chores and my brain can leave me alone about it. I have never in my life ever forgotten a packed lunch for any of my children when they're going off on a school trip or when they're going to school. I do not know why my brain has decided that that is something that might happen next week. It's weird how brains work like that, isn't it? Now, I will be back next Monday, 6 a.m. UK time, and I think I'm going to be talking to you about Kessingland, but I can't promise that in case my car is not fixed on time and I can't actually get to the coast, but oh, I really hope it is. I really, really need that. So if I get to go to the coast, then I will be doing my vlog next week all about the seaside. But I also have a few other exciting things that I'm looking forward to talking to you about. I will be interviewing my friend Rachel soon about her new book. It's just been released. It's a brilliant story and I can't wait to talk to you all about it and to have her on and ask her questions about her inspiration and stuff, because I know a little bit about it, but I think you guys will find it really interesting. I've also got a video planned where I'm going to be reviewing some jewellery that is going to be arriving at my house soon. I'm very, very excited about that. I did not buy this for myself. I don't spend money on things like that for myself because I don't have an awful lot of money. I saw these beautiful bracelets online, absolutely loved them. Quote tweeted that I loved them, and some lovely, lovely soul has bought them for me. I will tell you more about that when they arrive so that I can show them off to you and tell you a little bit about this business as well because it's brilliant. And so I'm very much looking forward to those arriving so that I can show off those as well. The weather is getting better now as well, so we'll be doing some more day trips. So if I'm not able to do any of those by next week, I might not be able to. It will depend on whether I can get to the coast, whether I can see my friend Rachel in time, whether these bracelets arrive on time. If not, we'll be doing probably a day out type vlog because it is just such beautiful weather here all of a sudden. Summer has well and truly arrived. It is going to wait for me to pack my winter coat away and then start pouring with rain again, I am sure. But that's what happens when you live in the UK, I suppose. So join me next Monday, 6 a.m. UK time. I'll be talking about one of those things, I'm not sure which yet. But if you can't wait until then to see me again, I will be here every single morning in your shorts, taking a great big deep breath, letting you know what I'm grateful for. Hopefully next week some of those will be on the beach. And I will also be here for a Witchy Wednesday, doing a little intuitive card reading for you. If that comes up in your feed, it might well be for you. I am hoping for a less eventful week next week. And so hopefully next Monday I'll be telling you that everything was chill and fine and my car is all sorted. Until then, you have yourself a magical week.